Hello everyone and welcome back to Diksha Karnataka YouTube channel. And I know many of you are thinking that physics is a very hard subject. Physics is very difficult subject and I just want to pass in physics and that's it. But if you are someone who is preparing for any competitive exam, you have to put effort to score good marks in that exam. You have to put effort in physics as well. So physics is equally important if you are preparing for JEE, if you are preparing for NEET, or if you are preparing for any other exam, say KCET or any other competitive exam. So here I am to help you to understand how you can score better marks in physics and how you can master physics in less than 3 months. If you follow the steps that I am going to tell you, then definitely your physics will improve, and if you follow everything to the line, then definitely you will be a master in physics in less than 3 months. So let's start without any delay how you can master physics in less than 3 months. Okay, so let's start together. First, let us understand why physics is hard, why we feel that physics is very hard. And not only you, there are many students across India, across the world, people think physics is very hard subject. Now let us understand why is so. First, we study physics in a wrong way. So first of all, how we learn physics? First teacher comes to the class and they said, okay, this is the important formula, this is the derivation, this is the thing, and teacher assumes that you have studied whatever required to understand that, and since you already have a backlog in your mind, you start fearing physics. So basically the way we teach physics, the way you understand physics, both are really different, and that's why there is a gap created in your mind, and that gap created fear, and fear creates more fear, and slowly you are falling behind in your class, in your mind, in your study. So physics is slowly becoming the hardest subject. Now what else? We put more focus on learning all the formulas and shortcuts. So before even learning the concept, I hear from students, sir, please teach us some shortcut methods, please teach us what are all the important formulas in that subject. But to understand all the formulas, to understand everything, there is a process. We will discuss that process as well. Now next, we think that mathematics used to solve physics problem is hard. So basically physics requires a lot of mathematics. So since mathematics is there, so that mathematics is different for physics, and because the mathematics used in the physics is somewhat appears to be different, people think, okay, mathematics is also required, so physics must be very hard. Also, what we do, we start ignoring physics as soon as we realize that physics is little difficult and it requires a lot of understanding as well as remembering. Only remembering or only understanding is not sufficient, you have to do both. So that's why we start ignoring physics from the beginning, and slowly there is a backlog created, and that increase the fear of the subject. So basically we start fearing subject physics because at the initial stages when you have to put more effort, you don't put enough effort. All the concepts in physics are very important and they are interlinked. Okay, so first of all, you are studying in P1. So if you are studying in P1, tell me how serious you were at first month of your classes. Obviously you were not serious, you just came out of your board exam, where class 10 board exam was very easy, and you thought, okay, your PU board will also going to be that easy, so you start, okay, it is very easy, it should be easy. Now once first chapter is over, units and dimensions are over, and you are moving slowly towards the second chapter, you feel, okay, this is also we have studied somewhat, so maybe velocity, speed, etc. is easy. Slowly you are ignoring the physics subject at the beginning, okay, and then you start creating that backlog. Once that backlog is created, you are not able to understand from the next chapter onwards, then there is a fear created in your mind. Oh my god, physics is very hard, I have ignored physics, now I have no way to go back. Yes, you have a way to go back. Even if you are studying in first PU or you are studying in second PU and you have ignored classes in your first PU as well as you have ignored your physics classes till now, if you follow the process that we are going to share in this video, video. If you follow that process, definitely that is going to help you. Now let's see. So what is the solution for all these problems? First of all, find the correct way. So first of all, you have to find the correct way to study physics. What are all the correct way? Learning basics is more important than learning the formulas and shortcuts. So basically, whenever I teach in a class, whenever I teach in here, you should see that I always focus on basics. So many students say, sir, this you are focusing more on basics. Why? Because basics is more important. You have to put more focus on basics. As soon as you put more focus on basics, your formulas will automatically come, your equations, your applications, they will automatically develop. Your skills that needs to be developed, it's there inside you, but it is hidden. So if you slowly start learning basics, if you slowly realize, okay, this is the basic part, then your that level that is required to answer a question is automatically developed. Okay, but if you ignore still now, then you cannot help it. Okay, first of all, so for example, you are learning Coulomb's law. What is Coulomb's law? You have to understand that there are two charges. When two charges are separated by a distance, there is a force acting between them. That is the basic concept. Okay, now you have to learn the basic formulas. What is the basic formula for that? Force is equal to K Q1 Q2 by R squared. That is the basic formula. So you don't need to learn any advanced level formulas. You don't need to remember all the formulas, all the shortcut formulas, shortcut equations. Only if you are very good at physics, at that stage you have not ignored any classes, you have not ignored any chapters, then only you can go to the advanced level. But otherwise, for most purposes, if you learn the basics, that will be very good for you. Now let's look into the next part. Application of mathematics plays an important role while solving problems in physics. Now application of mathematics is important, so you have to be very good at mathematics. I have seen students, they are scoring 90 or 99 in mathematics, but they are scoring 30-35 in physics. So basically they are already good in mathematics. Only thing they need to do in physics is to learn the basics. And also you need to remember that 2 plus 2 is equals to 4 in mathematics, 2 plus 2 equals to 4 in physics also. So there is the mathematics used in physics is not different than that of used in mathematics. Only thing, the terminologies, the names, the values, they are different. Otherwise, the equation, the integration you are doing in mathematics, same integration is applicable in physics. The equations that you are using in mathematics, same equations are applicable in physics as well. So mathematics is important for physics, to learn physics, but you don't need to put too much effort for physics specifically. If you are thinking about that, okay, mathematics in physics is different. No, mathematics in physics is same. Only thing is application is different. That what makes it a little bit challenging for you. Now what next? Study physics just like every other subject, reduce the backlog. So this is very important. If you are studying biology, I have seen students, they are studying biology 24/7, they are not studying chemistry, they are not doing mathematics, they are not doing physics. Okay, even if they are doing mathematics a little bit, chemistry a little bit, physics comes last priority. But that is very bad choice for you. If you are doing it, stop it now. You have to put focus equally on all the subjects. Right, so you have to put focus on all the subjects equally. Okay, so if biology is your favorite subject and you want to become a doctor in future, fine, but only biology will not help you to take that leap. You have to score well in physics, you have to score well in chemistry as well. So first of all, you have to treat physics as a subject. Even though it's a very hard pill to swallow, you have to start swallowing it. Once it is in your practice, in your daily routine, then slowly you will start love physics as well. So don't ignore physics. Even if you are investing small amount of time, so initially you are investing 30 minutes, next week you are investing 1 hour, next week you have to start investing 2 hours. So you have to complete the backlog. Okay, if you are falling behind, you have to come up with some ideas. You can discuss with your teachers, you can mention in the comment below how you can improve your thoughts, your ideas. Okay, so we can discuss there. So but you have to come up with some ideas, some way to study physics. So you cannot ignore physics anymore. From now on, you have to study physics. You have to put some effort to study physics. Next, know the important chapters and how can you complete those chapters effectively. Suppose you are preparing for KCET exam. I will be sharing a bonus, all the important chapters for KCET. There are important chapters for NEET as well. There are important chapters for JEE exam as well, mains and advanced level. So there are individual subjects, they all have important chapters from where questions are more frequent than any other chapter. If you study that chapter, at least one question is guaranteed from that chapter for NEET and JEE. For KCET level, second few chapters obviously more important. If you study all those chapters, you can answer at least 45 questions. So you have to know what all chapters are important. Finish those chapters first. Okay, I hope that till this point you have completed some chapters, some basic ideas you already have. So you have to find a way how you can complete the important chapters. In between, if some knowledge is required, you have to complete some non-important chapters as well. But you have to prepare your important chapters first, right? So that is the first thing you have to do. Second, solve more questions and PYQs. That gives you a confidence. Okay, starts with easier problem. Okay, there are PYQ books, there are PYQ materials. We are providing you KPL every week. So download question paper, solve them. Okay, that will boost your confidence. Okay, you don't need to solve all the questions. Okay, this question is not my cup of tea, I can ignore it. Okay, don't get disheartened by wrongly answering. That is fine. You can, if you are trying, you will be wrong sometimes. Okay, so you should not be afraid of your failures. If you are making one question correct, then you should take pride of that. Okay, I have solved one question correctly, and that is on my own struggle. I have solved it myself. I have not taken help from anyone else. I have not guessed the answer. I understood the question. I read the question carefully, and then I have answered it correctly. So that is what we want. You have to start doing it yourself, solve more questions, solve more PYQs. It will give you an idea and it will slowly boost your confidence. So I will suggest that you have to answer 40 questions easy, 20 medium and 20 hard questions when you are ready. Okay, so far for 2-3 weeks, for 1 month, you start answering 40 easy and 20 medium questions. Okay, how you will understand what is medium? You will read and you will know. Okay, when you are seeing a question paper, you will know, okay, this is a very easy question paper. Okay, like that you also know that, okay, this is a very hard question paper. So those I am asking you to answer at least 40 plus 20 easy to medium questions. Okay, once you are at that level, this is weekly target, okay, per week. So 40 initially, for first 2-3 weeks, you target only 40 easy questions. 140 easy questions level is achieved, that you are consistently answering all the easy questions. Then you have to go for medium questions, and then once you are confident with medium questions as well, then you can go for hard questions. Okay, hard questions are really hard. I will give you with examples, easy, medium, hard, every questions. I will give you one example of that. Start with easier questions first. As I said, 40 easier questions every week. That should be the minimum target for you now. If you are someone who is afraid of physics, you have to target 40 medium questions every week. Okay, you get enough time, you manage time. Okay, Sunday 30 questions I am giving you. Okay, in that 30 questions, 20 questions are easy, 10 questions are difficult. So you can answer those 20 easy questions first. Okay, another 20 questions you can, maybe previous week's question. Okay, you can practice that, repeat practice. Okay, repeating does not harm you. Okay, it will only benefit you. So you can repeat the question paper again, and you can see, okay, I have answered those questions last week. Out of 20 questions, 15 questions were wrong. Now this week I will try them again from the beginning without thinking too much, and I will see how many questions I am making correct now. Okay, so this is the thing that you have to start. Next, attempt mock test and simulated exam. Okay, we are giving you 30 questions every week. That is a mock test. Okay, and simulated exam means when you are answering the questions for the exact amount of time. So simulated exam is good when you are just approaching the exam. Suppose 1 month is left for the exam or 15 days left for the exam. That time you have to practice more simulated exam. So simulated exam means you will sit down, you will fix your mind, okay, I have to finish this question paper within this much amount of time. So for example, if you are preparing for NEET exam, okay, so you will get only 1 hour, not even 1 hour, 45 minutes to answer 45 questions for NEET exam. Okay, if you are preparing for KCET exam, you will get 1 hour to finish 60 questions. So you have to prepare your mind. Okay, if you are preparing for JEE mains exam, then you will get 1 hour, approximately 1 hour to finish 25 questions. Okay, so you have to train your mind, you have to train your brain. Okay, this is the question, this is the level of questions, I have to answer this question within this amount of time. That is the simulated exam. So you have to practice that, but that will come later. That's why it is the last option. Okay, so this will come later at the end phase of your preparation. Once you are mastering, your mastery is almost done, you are no more afraid of your physics, that stage you should start doing this to build up more confidence for your upcoming exam. Okay, so this is the right way to study physics. Now how can you solve a question? So basic target of our life is to get one of those seats, one of those coveted seats, that is for government seats or private colleges, whatever you want, but you want to achieve a good rank, right? So to achieve good rank, you have to perform well in the exam. So to achieve the well in exam, you have to solve questions. Now questions, even if I have seen the students, those who are very good at physics, okay, they are scoring 90% in PU board exam, but when it comes to the competitive exam, they are scoring 20%. So 90% in PU board, but only 20% in competitive exam. So how can you improve that? How you can convert your PU board results into your competitive exam results? For that, you have to follow few process as well. First of all, read the question carefully, okay, including the options. Okay, I have seen students, I am telling this from my day one of the lecture series, that you have to read the questions carefully. 90% students don't read the questions. They see the question initially and they think this is very hard question, or they think, okay, this maybe answer is maybe this one. So without reading the question completely, your knowledge is not completed. Okay, so when you are solving questions now, because you have time now, okay, in December you are going to appear, in January you are going to appear for your first JEE mains exam, those who are preparing for JEE mains, and then you will have your board exam in between. Then after board exam you will have your JEE session 2, then KCET, then NEET. All of them will happen after your board exam. So but you have time. So right now, whenever you are preparing, read the questions carefully, take a little bit extra time. This time that you are investing now, that will help you to clear the exam when you are appearing for your next session. Okay, so now after you completed reading, break down the questions into parts based on the level of the question. If the question is easy, then it will be only single part question. If the question is medium, maybe 2 parts are involved, 2 different concepts are involved. If it is a difficult question, then more than one concept will be definitely be involved in that question. Okay, so you have to understand what all the formulas, what all the equations, what are the concepts I need to solve it. Okay, I will give you one example where only using basic concepts, basic formulas, I will be solving questions. Okay, next, learn the tricks for calculation and stop using calculator. If you are using calculator for every small calculations, okay, if you are using, say, I want to calculate what is 18 times 2, okay, 18 times 2, okay, put in the calculator, 18 times 2 is 36. Stop using calculators. No more calculators till your board exam. Okay, only in your board exam you are allowed to use calculators. No competitive examinations you are allowed to use any calculators. So stop using calculators. That harms the development of your brain. Your analytical methods, your analytical approach in your head decreases because you are using calculators. So you start using your head, you will feel better after some time. You will realize, okay, these calculations, these equations, I was not able to solve, I was not able to answer in our college test or in our mock tests. But once you stop using calculators, you will be feeling better. You will be able to answer those questions easily. That is what one important thing, you have to stop using calculators right now. Next, use logic to answer correctly. Sometimes the question does not require any mathematical major mathematical calculations. If you use proper logic, you can answer that question without even doing any mathematics. Okay. Also, while calculating, we sometimes do approximation. If you have seen my lectures during my KCET Premier League lectures, I am solving the questions using approximations. Okay, so approximations is one thing when you are not getting the exact answer that you are looking for. Okay, so there are some answers which is more than your calculated value, slightly more than your calculated value. There are some options which are slightly less than your calculated value. So how you can choose which one is your correct answer? So while calculating, okay, whether you have decreased one value, for example, I am using 6.63. Okay, 6.63 is a value. So instead of using 6.63, I have used this to be 7. Now what I have done, I have increased this variable. Now was this variable in the numerator or is this variable in denominator? If this variable in numerator, then definitely I have increased the value, right? So actual answer should be slightly less than whatever I have calculated, right? So suppose I calculate the value to be 14. For example, my option is given 12, 15, 17. So which one should be my answer? This value was in numerator. This value was numerator. To calculate it easily, I have assumed the value to be 17. Okay, so from this I have increased the value. So increase the value means my answer is 14. So definitely it will not be 15 because I have already increased the value. So the correct answer should be less than that. So correct answer should be 12. So this is the logical thinking, logical processing that you have to learn. Okay, these are the things that comes with practice. It is not very difficult. As you are training your mind, as you are studying physics more, as you are solving more questions, this will automatically come to your head. That's why it is also written at the last. Okay, so as you start solving questions, as you are training your mind, this will be coming to your head very quickly. Now let's see one easy question. Okay, this question is from KCET exam. I think KCET 2023 exam. The angle between the dipole moment and electric field at any point on the equatorial plane is. So the angle between dipole moment and electric field. So dipole moment, we know that what is a dipole? Dipole moment is q minus q, right, separated by a distance 2r. So they have asked you to find the dipole moment, the angle between dipole moment. So what is the dipole moment? Dipole moment points from negative to positive. Okay, and we are not going to do any mathematics here. Okay, only logical thinking, logical reasoning is sufficient to answer this question. And electric field at any point on the equatorial plane. Okay, so electric field at any point on the equatorial plane. What is the equatorial plane? Equatorial plane is this. If you remember, this is the equatorial plane, right? Basically perpendicular bisector is also equatorial plane. So they have asked you what is the direction of electric field. Now if you remember, if we put a point here, point charge +1, then we have to find the direction of electric field. So this positive will be repelled, so it will be in this direction. This negative will be attracted, so the resultant will be in this direction. So this is the direction of electric field. So this is the direction of dipole moment. Now tell me, what is the angle? Electric field in our right hand side, dipole moment is our left hand side. So what is the angle? Angle is 180 degree. Even if you Don't remember the direction of electric field. Okay, I hope that many of you actually remember that the electric field on this side and dipole moment is on that side. Okay, so we can say that the angle is 180 degree. If you are a little bit advanced student, okay, then you know that electric field, when we write the formula for electric field, it comes out to be negative of dipole moment and some factors are there. So because there is a negative sign means the angle should be 180 degree. Cos 180 degree is -1. So this is a cos component. So you can do that in an advanced level student. Okay, we don't need to do the exact formula. Okay, even if you remember there is a negative sign for dipole moment in equatorial plane, so angle is 180 degree, that is also fine, but that is little bit difficult from this negative sign to understand. But if you draw this diagram, okay, it will be helpful for you. Okay, so this is how you can answer easy question using logic. Now let's see one medium level question. This is from JEE 2024 exam. Okay, the volume of an ideal gas is given by changed. So what is the condition? Volume. Okay, so volume is changing of ideal gas. Gas is ideal. Okay, is changed adiabatically. So what is the process? Process is adiabatic process from 5 liters to 4 liters. So the volume is changed from 5 liter to 4 liter adiabatically. Also, if you read the question, they have also given the gamma. Gamma is Cp by Cv. Okay, the ratio of initial pressure to the final pressure is. So they have given volume, they are asking you to ratio of the pressure. Okay, so what formula we will use? First of all, you have to identify what formula we will use. A very easy formula for adiabatic process. Adiabatic process is given, so PV to the power gamma is equals to constant. For normal isothermal process, PV equals to constant. For adiabatic process, PV to the power gamma is constant. Gamma is also given, so don't worry about it, right? So now what we will do, we will simply write this as our normal form. P1 V1 to the power gamma equals to P2 V2 to the power gamma, right? Easy. Now what we will do, we are trying to find P1 by P2. Right, ratio of the pressure, that is what we are trying to find. Ratio and division are same, or equals to V2 to the power gamma by V1 to the power gamma. Okay, or we can write this as V2 by V1 to the power gamma. Okay, so what is V2? What is V1? V2 is final pressure, final volume is 4. Okay, and initial volume is 5. So we have to write this as 4 by 5 to the power gamma. Now what is gamma? Gamma is 1.5. Okay, now to the power 1.5 is little bit difficult to understand. So what we will do, we will simplify this to be 3 by 2. These are the things that you need to know. So we will write this as to the power 3 by 2. Right, now what is the meaning of to the power 3 by 2? Okay, you can think it like two ways. First of all, you can think that it is like, first we will do half, okay, to the power, suppose x to the power 3 by 2. Suppose x to the power 3 by 2 is there. Okay, we can think that as x to the power half, then whole cube, or you can think it like x cube first, then to the power half. Both are okay. Whatever way you want to do, both are fine. We will use the first process. Okay, we are going to use the first process. So what is the first process? First we will do the half. Now what is the meaning of, suppose y to the power half? What is the meaning of that? Y to the power half means nothing but square root of y, right? So first we will do the square root of both the sides. So what is the square root of 4? Square root of 4 is 2. What is the square root of 5? Square root of 5 is root 5. We cannot do root here, so we will just write root 5. Okay, root 5 to the power cube. Okay, so now how can we solve this? So basically now we have to find the cube of both sides. So what is the cube of 2? Cube of 2 is 8 2 cube is 8. Now what is the cube of root 5? So if you are not able to understand directly, then you should remember what is the meaning of cube. Cube means multiply 3 times, right? So cube of root 5 means root 5 times root 5 times root 5, right? Cube means that, right? So what we have to do, we can write this as 5 root 5, right? Cube means multiply 3 times. So we can see that answer is 8 by 5 root 5. So easily with only using basic mathematics, basic calculations, we are able to solve this question. This is one of the difficult questions from JEE Mains exam in 2024. So we are able to solve it. If you forget anything, if you don't know anything, only basic mathematics, basic formula is sufficient. Now with more practice, with more practice over time, you don't need to do all these breakups. You can write, okay, cube root means first of all I will do the cubes, I will do the square root, so 2 by root 5 cube, cube means 2 cube is 8, 5 cube is 5 root 5. So these things will come automatically once you are practicing this kind of questions easily. Okay, so that is the mathematics different for physics? Answer me this. I have seen students, they are thinking the mathematics applied to physics is different than whatever mathematics is applied in mathematics. Same mathematics. You are doing the same thing in mathematics as well, right? So if you are afraid, then you will remain afraid, right? If you are bold enough, if you are using your brain, you are observing carefully, you will be able to answer these questions. Also, you have to fix your basic mathematical calculations. Okay, I have done a series on basic mathematics for physics. You can see that there I have discussed in detail about all the basics formulas that is required to answer questions in physics. Now let us consider this question. This is a difficult question, okay, based on KCET exam. Let's see this question. A charged dust particle of radius 5 times 10 to the power of minus 7 meter is located in a horizontal electric field having an intensity of 6 pi into 10 to the power of 5 volt per meter. Okay, so this is the first part of the question. What is the next part? The surrounding medium is air with a coefficient of viscosity eta equals to 1.6 times 10 to the power of minus 5 Newton per meter square. If the particle moves with a uniform horizontal speed of 0.02 meter per second, find the number of electrons on it. Wow. What is the question? They started with electric field, electricity, and then suddenly they are saying viscosity, uniform speed, and now they are asking what is the charge in it. Completely bamboozling question, completely confusing question. But if you break this questions into two different parts, this is actually an easy question. Okay, so even though the question looks difficult on the surface, if you read it properly and if you try to understand it properly, it is actually not a difficult question. Okay, so first of all, as I said, I am going to use basic mathematics, basic physics to solve this question. So first of all, what is given? You can divide this question clearly into two parts. Okay, one is a charged particle, okay, and it is ending here. This is up to electric field. So whatever electricity, electric field, charged particle, etc. is given, it is ending here. From here to here, it is mostly about viscosity, okay, speed, coefficient of viscosity, except this term is required, this radius is also required for viscosity part. Okay, so now how can we tackle this question? Okay, so basically we know that when a particle is moving in an electric field, what will happen to it? Okay, it is moving in an electric field. If you keep a charged particle inside an electric field, it will experience a force, right? If you remember, you have studied in the electrostatics chapter, you have studied in moving charges and magnetism chapter, that is the Lorentz force, the first part of the first term of the Lorentz force. Also you have studied that in electrostatics, that the force acting on it, the electric force acting on it, given by the charge on it times the electric field, right? So this is the electric force acting on this particle. Now since there is a viscosity involved, Okay, so we can write there will be a viscous force as well, and that can be written as 6 pi eta r v, right? This is the viscous force acting on it. Now velocity is constant. If the velocity is constant, then what we can say? We can say that whatever viscous force acting, and also you should remember that when something is moving in a medium, okay, the viscous force always opposes the motion. It's like a friction, but instead of in a surface, it is acting on a fluid, okay, either air or liquid. Okay, so viscous force always opposing the motion. So these two forces should balance each other so that this horizontal uniform speed is achieved. If these two forces are not balancing each other, then uniform speed is not possible, it will accelerate. So the question, you should always remember, the fundamental of the question is simple, unless you are trying to answer higher order level of JEE advanced question. JEE advanced level questions requires a lot of understanding, a little bit more in-depth understanding than this. Okay, JEE mains, KCET, NEET, they require depth of the understanding, but not the formulas, the equations, the calculations should be easier. Okay, but in case of JEE mains, you have to apply formulas as well as understanding. That is more difficult. So for example, in JEE mains advanced, if the same question comes, they might add an acceleration term. So these two forces are not balancing each other, so that will be little complicated. But in most of the general questions, it is not so complicated. So you can as soon as you write these two forces, you should know that these two forces should balance each other, okay, because there is a uniform motion. So if you understand that much, then you can write Fe is equal to F eta, or Q times E equals to 6 pi eta r v. Okay, now you can simply find the charge, total charge. First step is to find the total charge. Second step, we know that charge is equals to N times E. Okay, quantization of charge, we have to find the number of charge, number of electrons. Okay, so number of electrons, suppose the electron is E, then we can easily find number of electrons, right? So that is the first step, we have to find Q. Second step is to find Q is equal to NE. So these are the steps. Okay, so you have to understand what are the steps, how we can solve it. You can directly, if you are advanced level student, you can directly add this NE here and solve it. If you are not so advanced right now, you just simply find the charge. Next step, you do it. Okay, all the problems will not take same amount of time. Some problems will take more amount of time, some question will take less amount of time. This is a long question, little bit difficult question, so it will take some time. So what is the Q? Q is equals to 6 pi eta r v divided by E. Next step is what? Just insert the values. Simple, right? 6 pi eta is given 1.6 times 10 to the power of minus 5. R is given 5 times 10 to the power of minus 7. Okay, and V is given 0.02. Okay, eta RV, and then you have to divide it by E. Electric field is 6 pi. Now you should remember that electric field intensity and electric field are same thing. Okay, so 6 pi will cancel. They have given the value such that they will cancel each other, right? Now what you have to do, you have to just simplify this. Now 5 times 0.02 is equals to 0.1. Okay, 5 times 0.02 is 0.1, and there is also 1.6 times 10 to the power of this, my 5 will go up and it will become minus, so it will become minus 17. Okay, now what we will do, we will simplify this to be 10 times 1.6 times 10 to the power of minus 19. What I have done, I have multiplied with 100 here, and to compensate that I have divided by 100. So divided by 100 means minus to the power minus increases, right? Now you can see that this is nothing but charge of an electron. So if you apply this equation here, this is just a charge of an electron. So you can say that there are 10 number of electrons present. So 10 electrons are present in this, so you can answer this as 10 now electrons are present. So this is a very easy part, easy question if you know how to tackle this question. If you don't know how to tackle this question, then you are in the deep water. So first read the question, try to understand what all are given in this case, what all the equations that we need to apply, and then solve it step by step. Okay, so once you have written this equation, okay, once you have written these two equations and then you have compared these two equations, rest is simple mathematics. Okay, simple mathematics, nothing difficult. Okay, if you understand this question, you will be able to answer this question like a flash. Right, now let us see the bonus part where I am going to help you with all the important chapter for KCET. If you are preparing for KCET 2025 exam, then you should first prepare these chapters. Okay, what are all these chapters? Electric charges and fields. 4 question comes from this chapter on an average. Okay, electrostatic potential and capacitance, 3 questions on an average. Current electricity, super important chapter, 6 question comes from this chapter. Sometimes in some years 7 questions also came from this chapter. Okay, now all those 7 questions are not directly exactly on current electricity. There are some questions which are based on mixed concepts. Okay, but 6 to 7 questions directly coming from current electricity. If you practice those questions, you will definitely be good. Moving charges and magnetism, 5 questions comes from this chapter. This is also very important chapter. Alternating current, 4 questions comes from this chapter, also important chapter. Ray optics and optical instrument, 4 questions from this chapter. Wave optics, 3 questions. Okay, dual nature of radiation and matter, 3 questions. Semiconductor electronics, 4 questions. Now these 4 questions might be decreased in upcoming year. We don't know because some parts of the semiconductor electronics is deleted, but if questions coming from semiconductor electronics, even same number of questions, they will be very easy questions. Okay, so we are concluding this lecture right now. Okay, if you have any doubts, any queries, don't forget to ask that in the comments. Okay, and if this video is helping you, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and like this video, share it with your friends. I'll be back with new such videos very soon. Thank you.